What is up, guys? So as you know, in my last video, I took my Huracan to Thermal Raceway and did some awesome laps. Unfortunately, well, I only made about 3 laps before my rear brake pads went completely kaboom. According to my friends when they were behind me, the last time I hit the brakes before I basically putted the car around the track, tons of black smoke was shooting out of the rear right brake pad. So, not the best thing. Originally, I was super worried that I had to replace the entire brake system because oftentimes when you run out of the pads, you have to replace the rotors. Well, on a Huracan with the carbon ceramic brakes, that is a $37,000 job. But like, what? But it turns out it's just the pads. So today, I'm gonna teach you guys how to change brake pads on your car using my Lamborghini as an example. Right as I pulled up to Avant-Garde, Mark realized that my front brake pads are shot as well, but it turns out, out of nowhere, he comes in clutch and finds front brake pads for the car. I'm referring to him now as Snap-on Jesus. This badge is unreal, Turbo SS. It's a Tune 997. What's up, Snap-on Jesus?
And you can just see what's left on it is dust.
Oh my God. So guys, this is how thick a new pad should be, and all that's remaining is this little sliver there.
Yeah. So the chamfer on this thing is to keep it from squeaking.
Yeah.
Like the chamfer's all gone. You're burned down to where it's flat and true then.
And if this goes away completely and the metal hits the rotor, then the rest in peace.
Rotor's done.
Yeah. Okay, well this video started out as a how to change brake pads video and has become, yeah, I'm not in a very good mood right now. We'll leave it at that. So come around here. Originally I was told at the track, I went to Thermal Raceway, had an absolute blast, that I had ran through my rear brake pads. So originally I was a little bit worried because I knew that potentially if you go through the brake pads, it could damage the rotors. The carbon ceramic rotors on this, they're made by Brembo and they are stupid expensive. I knew they were expensive and now unfortunately I found out exactly how expensive they are. So this is a new brake pad, very thick. As you can see, not only are the rear brake pads bad, but if you come around and look right here, I don't really have any more brake pads left in the front. That's just kind of this remaining flat section here. Once it goes past that, this is metal, and when metal comes in contact with your carbon ceramic brakes, really bad things happen. So this is the electronic wear indicator that popped on, and the second it popped on, all hell broke loose. Essentially, the computer sends 5 volts through here. This is situated right here, and as the brake pad wears down, it wears through this plastic piece, then it wears all the way through the wire. There's no longer any sort of communication, and the brake pad wear indicator comes on, which it did while I was on the track, and a bunch of black smoke also flew out the passenger side of my car. My friend was behind me in, I think it's Golf R, and yeah, so he knew something happened. Now, if you look at the carbon ceramic brake, this is a smooth surface. Looks super cool, but the main thing is it's smooth. If we come around to the other side, the side full of tears and despair, we have my passenger side front carbon ceramic rotor, which if you look at here, yeah, it's not smooth. If you rub your hand over it, there's these horrid ridges, a bunch of weird deposits and scratches. I don't know if you can see it too well, but if you feel it, yeah, it's absolutely sabotaged. Now, if you look at the caliper, this is what's left of a brake pad, sort of, and this is the metal backing plate that has no brake pad on it whatsoever. So as the brake pad spontaneously combusted, there's just random brake pad pieces all over the rotor and the caliper. It happened just instantly, and the metal touched the carbon ceramic disc, and this $6,200 piece of total garbage now has to be replaced. I'm thinking, thanks to Avant-Garde Exotics, they thought maybe turn this into a clock, maybe even a clock giveaway item, or I could kill myself with it. We're not sure which we're gonna do there. So let's go over some of the pricing. I have a very generous pricing sheet that includes not very many rip-offs, but straight from Germany, the carbon ceramics are $5,229. Then rush shipping, it was gonna take weeks to get here, and I need it, is $670. And the wear sensors, those little plastic pieces that, yeah, they're $50 frickin'. The brake pads themselves aren't that bad. That's what I thought I would be fine on. And then I'm also gonna do a fluid flush, and it comes out to this amount right here, which is, yeah, that sucks. So a couple lessons learned. When I went to the track, I was pretty positive. I had a decent amount of brake life left. Unfortunately, you can't fully tell just from inspecting with a flashlight. You pretty much have to take the wheel off and turn the caliper so you can actually see fully how much brake pads you have left, and the answer was not enough. Now, the front right decided to just explode on its own when it got down to the end, and that's where it was probably 1 or 2 brake applications too much that caused a $6,200 rotor to kill itself. Now, if you want it to be crazy and reckless, which, you know, sometimes that's okay, but other times it's really not, you could put these back on, but yeah, as you can see by the sheet, I'm not doing that. It's not worth, I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money to fix this, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty pissed off. I love this car, and what's been so fantastic is I've spent about $1,000 over 22,000 miles in maintenance, so that was one of my, like, yes, the Huracan rocks kind of thing. So it's a bummer I have to do this with the rotor, but really, it's not worth risking $5-6 grand for your life for, you know, your brakes going to fail. Yeah, so basically, if you're going to go to the track, make sure to check your brakes. Like, don't just check them with a little flashlight, actually inspect them. Because honestly, this could have been prevented. If I didn't go with a tiny amount of brake pads left and then go one brake pedal push too far and ruin the rotors. These rotors are supposed to last 70,000 miles, something like that. And the rest of them are gonna be good. As long as you have brake pad to actually come in contact with the rotor instead of metal, then they're not going to destroy themselves and cause these absolutely hideous ridges that you can catch your fingernail on. I mean, it makes a disgusting noise when you press the brakes. For the Huracan owners watching this video, I mean, the cool thing and the horrible thing is that I've driven this car a ton of miles. It pretty much has, other than 2 or 3 cars I've found, maybe even 1 or 2 cars I found in the country, pretty much the highest mileage Huracan in the country. And if it's not the highest, it's been probably the most abused. So I'm kind of finding out firsthand. You talk to dealers, you talk to mechanics, nobody knows what the 15 or 20,000 mile service is comprised of and how much it costs, because nobody's done it yet. Nobody has had to buy one of these carbon ceramic rotors yet for a Huracan. Brembo in Germany was like, what? You have to buy a rotor? There's not a single, the reason it's coming from Germany is there's not a single one for sale in the United States. And the crazy part is even used ones, because these are supposed to last so long, a used rotor is like $4,700. So $5,200 versus $4,700 to have a used one that potentially could have problems, really not worth it. I'm kind of proud of the fact that I've driven this so hard that I've caused it to break itself. This is a really, really reliable, bulletproof machine, so to speak. You just have to be careful with things like, you know, proper maintenance. I'm getting a full fluid flush, oil change, I might do spark plugs, just stuff that doesn't need to be done. The brakes didn't need to be changed right at that second, although it got pretty close. I mean, you gotta change them right when the wear indicator comes on, but with these cars, the wear indicator comes on at like the last second. I feel like they need to have it a little bit more tolerance so that you can drive it to the dealer or whatever instead of stop and be towed. I mean, I went around 1 turn too many and the whole thing, shit hit the fan, and it cost me, at the end of parts, labor, everything, the better part of $10,000 to fix the car. This is one thick ass brake pad, and it went all the way down to the metal backing plate. And that, when it clamps down onto the rotor, yeah, you can imagine that won't be good. $80 metal backing plate versus $6,000 rotor. Yeah, this one won, unfortunately. God damn it. So this is what $20,000 of carbon ceramic looks like. We've got mine. This is the least damage, but still results in having to buy a new one with this horrible etching from the metal backing plate. Then we have the Ferrari version, which has been shattered from the caliper here. And then this is a Lamborghini carbon ceramic disc that looks definitely worse than mine. Look at that. It's completely shattered. It looks pretty cool, I'll be honest, how it's made, but yeah, it's completely effed. Well, to make things a little bit more positive, I guess sort of, not really, because I'm about to talk about this engine that is having problems, but let's go around the shop and see what they're working on. So this Murcielago is having leaking oil issues from the engine. These things are maintenance nightmares. They look really cool, they sound really cool, they don't drive all that well, and they cost a ton to maintain. But seeing an engine and a transmission sitting right next to me is definitely something that I wanted to show you guys. Check this thing out. Now this is a Murcielago that's currently undergoing an SV style body kit. I think it looks absolutely savage. Instead of doing the huge SV wing, they've got this ducktail in the back. We've got the SV side skirts here, as well as the SV front bumper. The thing with aftermarket bumpers is none of them fit correctly. So they had to go through a lot of work to get this to look great, but the end result, once they get it all done, is going to be epic. Then we have this crazy color shift Murcielago over there. A nice Ferrari FF. A lot of Ferraris on the lifts, but unfortunately more broken Lamborghinis. That kind of bums me out. What do you see more of, Lambos or Ferraris?
Lambos.
Damn it. Damn it.
I don't want the Ferraris.
Okay, good. I like that. This is a beautiful LP560 with the kind of Performante conversion. You've got the lovely wing and then the front bumper. It's an LP570 front bumper. This was apparently done before the Performante came out, so this is the OG Performante. Good work.
Oh.
Haha, I'm inside of a Murcielago. Look at that. This is engineering right there. So in walking around the shop, I found this. Now this is a Lamborghini part that costs $1,600 and it's made of plastic. Comment in the comment section below, what do you guys think this is? I didn't know until they told me. So I've been corrected. Now with inflation, and these prices are at a discount, it's two different pieces. So it's $2,150 plus $525 for that stupid piece. On this episode of What's in Avant-Garde Exotics shop, we have a Countach engine that's being built. I don't know why they decided to tackle this project, but good for them. That's absolutely ridiculous. And for engines that can't be rebuilt, this is a Murcielago engine, and in its current form, totaled that is, it's worth $10,000 and it's being converted into a table. That's an expensive but cool table. If you're wondering why the engine was totaled, this hole isn't supposed to be there, but you can kind of rig it with a beer in one of the cylinders and then a tube coming out, and then there you go, you've got a drinkable table. This is actually an OEM Ferrari California tire. You can see the technology's not quite the same. Excuse me, I'm wrong. It was a joke, but this is actually a Lamborghini tire for a tractor.
Pre-LP, of course.
Back at my place, obviously, a pretty rough day. No matter how you slice it and dice it, $10,000 down the drain absolutely sucks. But it is what it is. I guess it's part of Lamborghini ownership. It's a learning experience, and hopefully I can save a Huracan owner out there. Make sure to check your pads, especially if you're going to be going to the track. Congratulations once again to the winner of the E46 BMW M3. I am so stoked for you, and that brings me to my next point, the next giveaway. So, if you sign up for my website, lightgravity.com/pro, you get access to all Vehicle Virgins videos 24 hours before they hit YouTube. You get free wallpapers, you get personalized responses from me because I'm able to communicate with a smaller number of people on there than I am on YouTube. It gives you an entry to potentially win these ongoing giveaways that I'm doing. And the next one, I'm really leaning towards a Honda S2000. Let me know what you guys think about an S2K. I think it would be an awesome addition to the channel and something totally different than Vehicle Virgins has done in the past. If you sign up for a year membership, you get 12 entries to win. Now, if you guys have already signed up, you're good to go. You're entered to win whatever the next giveaway items are. If you sign up for 1 month, you only get 1 entry to win. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.